All right, so yeah, Infinity Wars spoiler review. Uh, the the most anticipated Thanos coming in and wrecking everybody's shit right out of the gate. Man,
Literally, right out of the gate.
yeah, he just came in and put hands on a few people and you know just set the tone for the whole movie. Um, so he's after the stones, as you all know. If you've seen, this is a 10-year build-up. A 10-year build-up to this movie.
Culmination.
Amazing that you know, we're just getting to cap this whole 10 years of Marvel is getting capped with this Infinity Avengers War and the next one that's coming, the one that's untitled. So amazing. I'm in a bit of shock right now from what we just saw. So Thanos comes and he's looking for these stones, the Infinity Stones, and he means business. So that's the premise of this movie, and here we go. So tell me a little. Let's talk about Thanos real quick. I gotta talk about Thanos, the much awaited,
the Mad
debated,
Titan himself. I gotta be honest, man. I was a little bit disappointed with Thanos as a character. Just from what I've been exposed to as a kid and growing up with like watching the Silver Surfer, which Thanos was dope in, by the way, and you know other Marvel animated series. Not like I know a crap ton about Thanos or anything like that. Just I expected a little bit more. I didn't expect to witness the Thanos right out of the comic book because the MCU is not right out of the comic book.
Right.
However, I did expect to see more of, I don't know, man. To be honest, it was kind of crazy because, like, you know, they gave us a Thanos that you could actually relate to. And that was kind of bizarre. I wasn't really sure how to feel about that. Like, you know, the whole tie with him and Gamora and Nebula and the way that they had their reactions and whatnot, you know. That was just kind of, it was kind of weird to me to see a more human side of Thanos because they don't call him the Mad Titan for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
You didn't like the humanization they had?
no, it's not that I didn't like it. I guess it just kind of came out of left field, and like I just was not expecting to see him in that kind of role.
Okay.
And
I
don't even think it just almost felt like he didn't even he wasn't fully committed to what he was doing.
Here's what I thought. I did expect that they were going to humanize him a bit. I expected that because he had to have a rapport and some sort of relatability to all these human characters. And the characters we've seen for 10 years, you had to kind of relate somewhat to this guy. And they did a decent job of doing that. Did it feel sort of forced, shoehorned in? A little bit. Like Gamora's character was specifically to set that up. Him having some emotion and you kind of seeing how far he's willing to go to accomplish his goals. So in that aspect, I kind of felt it coming, and I kind of saw what was coming before it happened. But if you see as many movies as we have, it's not that uncommon not to kind of pick up things quickly.
Well, also like, I mean, it wasn't the worst thing that could have been displayed. It wasn't the worst. I mean, it was tolerable. It was acceptable, and I can't really sit here and say I know all about the Infinity War comics. It's not like even if I did know, I wouldn't have relied on that knowledge to carry me through this movie. You would have to throw all that out of the window because this is a whole different storytelling method and everything. They've changed everything in the dynamics.
It's not totally. Trying to map out from the comics. It's just MCU is exactly its own entity. So they may draw some tidbits here. So it is what it is. It's fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I kind of expected it before I seen the movie. Him coming in and his power set. I didn't really have high expectations for him just destroying people. with one hand or one
See
pinky.
now
one
not
pinky
to
or something?
disagree. I did. I was expecting that.
I didn't set myself up for that because I knew like we wouldn't have a movie with the characters they have set up to fight him. Nobody can check them. They cannot check Thanos. You can't. So I knew coming in, he almost had this calm, calculated offensive about him. Like he knew I don't really need to do too much here. I'm just that damn good. That kind of attitude with fighting the Avengers. Like he's like, I can take y'all out anytime I want to. He almost like toying with them. So I kind of knew that coming in. So I didn't really have high expectations for that. So it didn't faze me one bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So did I want to see a little more? Yeah, I did.
What did you think about the opening sequence, though?
I liked him tangling the Hulk right off the bat, but I felt it was lacking a little bit. Like, they just kind of teased us with it. I wanted, if you're going to fight, man, go blow for blow, like tip for tip, like jump, you know what I'm saying? Put it all in there. And then, I have something else to say about the Hulk. After that, you didn't really see him again. And I was like, huh.
Oh, Thanos just took his whole manhood, and you've seen the Hulk in a way you've never seen him before in this film.
Which, there's a scene from the trailer that you don't see in a couple scenes.
Yeah, where he's running in?
Yeah, you don't see it in this movie, so I'm thinking something's going down from the next movie where
it has to be.
Hulk comes back.
But that don't make sense because...
Did he phase out? I don't remember seeing him phase out. Hulk.
No. He's still there. I mean, when you're talking about after Thanos has removed...
Something's got to go down after this because Black Panther's in that scene. Everybody's in that scene running together with the Hulk.
It's still in Wakanda, though.
Yeah, and unless they're not using that...
Remember that the Infinity Stones consist of soul, mind, reality, power, time.
Yeah, but Thanos has them all.
Okay, maybe something happened where it didn't go down the way he expected, so he has time and he reverts to...
Yeah, so let's kind of stay on track. See what I'm saying? There's so much going on in this movie.
There is a lot going on in this movie.
To fly off the handle.
It's not convoluted in any way, I don't think. It was easy to follow.
It was. So let's go back. Alright, so we've seen Thanos kind of put hands on Hulk right away, kind of throw his weight around. He fights... he pulls out Thor. What did you think about that? Like, Thor was nothing to this dude. Because he's dragging him in the opening scene. He's dragging...
Well, you gotta understand...
He's dragging Thor by the head.
When he first comes into the fray, he already has 2 of the Power Stones, or the Infinity Stones.
Right, he does.
So it's not unbelievable for him to manhandle Thor.
Here's what I'm saying. That statement right there tells me... It tells the audience I'm that nigga because y'all didn't even see me put hands on him, and he's in a submissive position. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't even know anything about Thanos, you're like, fuck, look at this nigga right here.
Well, because Thor is that dude. He's the god of
right.
fire.
So for him to have him down on his knees like that, and then immediately he took out the 2 strongest Avengers like nothing.
Yeah.
Some of the the top tier niggas like boom boom.
Well, no, he didn't even have to do it. He sent. You're talking about the Hulk.
In the beginning.
Right.
Yeah,
The Hulk and Thor. They are the top 2. They're the symbols of power.
Yeah, he took out the powerhouses right away. So I thought that was pretty interesting and a nice chess move on his part. And then it's like, damn, for the audience, like, what is going to happen? Because your 2 strongest dudes is done. Like, clap, clap.
Yes, seriously. Like, it was that fast.
Dang, like, so... and then you got Loki there giving him the Infinity Stone, the Tesseract.
I was surprised to see Loki's character actually give a damn about his brother, but I guess that would all culminate from Ragnarok.
Yeah, they set that up in Ragnarok where Thor.
Did they?
They did. Thor had that little heart to heart with him, like you're. I know who you are. You know what I'm saying? He was gut check time for Loki right there, like. He's like, I'm done trying to change you. You are who you are. You could be this, but this is who you choose to be. And you could tell he was trying to fight it. He was like, go ahead and kill him. And Thanos start putting that knuckle on that Infinity Stone on Thor.
I thought that was the Soul Stone when I first saw it.
I think it was the Power one. I believe it had to have been Power Stone. It had to have been. And so he's about to let Thor die, and he has to change.
Actually, he only had one stone, right?
Yes, he had one right there.
That was the power
stone.
Yeah, that was the power stone.
And then
the one that he got from where the Nova Corps was.
Yeah, they didn't even show that.
Nah, yeah.
That wasn't even.
They could have did
necessary.
a quick recap. I mean, it had to have been. The Nova Corps ain't no joke in the Marvel universe.
Apparently he
so.
just clapped them up too, like nothing. So he had that stone, easy peasy. But yeah. So Loki has that change of heart, and he decides to try to save his brother. And right then and there, when Thanos spares Thor, he just leaves him to die in space, I guess. I don't know if he thought he was gonna die or was like this.
Yeah.
He's like nothing to me. So if I felt
he didn't care one way or the other.
Exactly.
I mean, his objective and
exactly
and what
this
he acquired.
this is how calculated he felt to me. Like, you know, I can take you out with a thought, basically. A twitch of my muscles. Like, I already showed you what I can do to you. You're nothing. Like, that on its own is a defeat to you. You know what I'm saying? That's how his aura, that's how he came off to me, and I liked that.
Yeah, no, it was definitely good. He was definitely menacing for sure. He had presence you know, he wasn't to be taken lightly. Let's just put it that way.
Man. He really carried his weight on screen, I thought, very well.
I just thought he was very human, though. You know what I mean? Like
his thinking was a cut above the rest. Like, his thought process, he was a step ahead of them niggas. Like, he was you know, he just knew.
Well,
like,
I mean, as far as the comics is concerned, he is revered as a genius. You know, so
I felt
he's
that.
brilliant.
I felt that on screen, like his plans. He executed his plans, and then even if they did surprise him, he was just like, I'm that nigga. Like, I walk in the room and these niggas, there's fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew, like, there's nothing y'all niggas can do. And plus, I got 2 Infinity Stones. Once he had that one,
I definitely
one from
felt
Loki.
like he felt like there was nothing they could do, but there was several times that you saw that was to his disadvantage in the film. I mean,
True. You know, too overconfident.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And from what I do know about the actual comics, he doesn't have that same cadence, so to speak, where he's letting his guard down.
Right.
On that.
I would.
On that
I would agree with you on that. Sure. That was a little bit of a surprise. Like, I guess that was kind of me justifying it because he was so, you know, like I can.
Poised and
like I know, like he didn't have any doubt that even by himself, without his men around him, his underlings.
I can't remember for the life of me what the 4 dudes are called.
Black something. I can't remember right.
Yeah.
My mind's jumbled, but let's move on. Yeah, so he was just that guy that came in and just took it.
I mean, they amped up everything. I mean, the stakes were there. We're talking not only about the world and Earth as a whole being, you know, destroyed or overtaken or whatever, but we're talking about the entire universe is at stake.
And it was interesting. Like, after that went down, and you know, Thor's left there in space, and of course the Guardians find him. And then he sends them off to Earth to go get those other stones, right? The Mind Stone. And,
he sent his generals to go get
the Time Stone, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So once they get down to Earth, and then, you know, Spider-Man has a sense, and he's running to see what's going on, and
which all happened pretty quickly too.
Yeah,
but it wasn't so fast that you didn't get what was happening. It was done really well, actually.
Right. So when Doctor Strange runs out and Iron Man runs out, you felt this. I felt this tension, man. Like, damn, like this was different from the Avengers. It was a different type of feeling from the Avengers. You know, when they come to attack Earth. It felt like, damn, what I don't know what the heck, you know, I don't know who's finna die right now, or who's finna get it. I felt that tension, and I enjoyed that. I was kind of on the edge, like, man, what are we about to see right now? You know,
sure.
I enjoyed that.
Was there all the way.
I enjoyed that tension. I like that, man. I missed that from the movies. You don't get that all the time, because this is a 10-year buildup, and so
Yeah, and it didn't disappoint. It
No,
didn't
it
disappoint.
didn't. It did not disappoint. It was really good. Man. So then you got them tangling with that little black ministry. He's got his underlings, and they're coming after those stones.
The Black Order, or
The Black Order,
yeah,
I
something
believe.
like that. Yeah.
And right away you can tell these dudes are gonna be a handful. Like they ain't no joke. Like these dudes had some skill and some power.
Yeah, they had their own unique abilities of their own. Yeah, it was pretty cool to watch the heroes tangle with them and see what kind of strategies they built against one another. It was pretty good. I thought that they used the one guy. I don't know what I think his ability was like.
The strong
Telepathic?
One?
No.
Oh, you're talking about that wizard one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
like
don't know
a
if it was a wizard.
let's call him
but,
a dark wizard. He,
you know,
he tangles with Doctor Strange, and he's got
the
his little.
exchange between him, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man was just really cool to see.
I enjoyed the fighting, man. That was real nice, real sweet. It was cool, you know.
The
like,
Dark Order.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they're called? The Dark Order.
They felt threatening.
Right, and then he was accompanied with the big old brute dude with the big old
Yeah.
axe or whatever he was. I gotta say though, man, I mean when Thanos first tangled with the Hulk, and he puts it to the Hulk, you don't expect to see what ensues with Bruce Banner and the Hulk after that. It was they almost overdid it in that regard where, you know, Banner's trying to summon the anger to transform. Yeah. And it's not that he can't. It's simply that the Hulk doesn't want none of that. You know, like Thanos bitched him that hard.
Fear
you know
in
what
the
I mean?
Hulk, like
yeah,
I didn't think he'd ever known fear.
That just tripped me out.
I
mean, it was cool, but it was at the same time like I felt like they almost overdid it on that regard. But you know, there's a second film to come out, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt on that and see where we go from here. But
yeah, but it was definitely concerning.
It was definitely, I mean, that's like smacking your willy, like, hey, wake up, and he ain't waking up. I mean, what is this? We're not used to this at all, you know, we don't expect this to happen. So it just kind of tripped me out. I didn't expect to see the Hulk not make a second appearance, especially after the trailers like we were talking about and whatnot. Yeah. You know, it just definitely took me for a loop. So.
And did Vision and Wanda, did these dudes get busy? They got it on? That's
what it seems like. I mean, you know.
got some android wing.
How did we even get to Vision and Wanda? First, like you said, it was the dude, the priest dude with the black magic, and then the dude with the big old axe.
They have to retreat after
Stark and Spider-Man get sucked up with Strange and with the spaceship.
And Strange.
So they come to Earth to retrieve the time and the Mind Stone.
Right. And they get tangled up.
The one guy from the Dark Order captures Doctor Strange, but Spider-Man and Iron Man,
they go to rescue.
Yeah, they manage to infiltrate the spaceship or spacecraft or whatever, and that's how, you know, they're all part of one scene. And then two other people from the Dark Order, I guess, went to go get the Mind Stone, which everybody knows Vision has.
Right.
And that's where we catch up with Wanda and Vision.
Now, I had a problem with this scene with Wanda and Vision getting attacked by those two. Because these are two...
But the Lady General and the other guy?
Yeah, these are two strong Avengers too. And one might say they're top tier too.
Definitely.
They're not easy to take down. And
but you gotta understand too, they got caught off guard.
Yes, they get ambushed, but this is what I'm saying. Like maybe it's this alien weaponry they got. I don't know, but they get saved by Captain America, Falcon, and Black Widow.
It was nice to see them come on the screen.
That was cool and all,
the way they did,
my nigga. But
the fashion.
These niggas saved them, and they're loads stronger than those.
Right, but you got to look at it in this way. You're caught off guard. You're put in a disadvantage, and you're beaten to a point where you're about to be submitted. Anything to give you the edge is going to really turn the tide.
I feel you, but I'm saying that it was hard to. Okay, I'll buy it. I guess I'll buy it.
Then the numbers, it was 5-on-2. I mean, at that
I guess
point,
I'll buy it, but you know, like I'm saying,
it wasn't the worst scene for me to.
It was
like,
questionable.
I gotta wonder,
it was just that was just questionable.
They're soldiers. That's what they're. All three of them.
Black Widow was putting tips.
She's a fighter. Wanda's not a fighter. She uses spells and hexes and telepathic whatever. You know, she ain't no fighter, man. I mean, that's why you think she was getting tossed up when she was getting tossed up. Had she had the experience and training of the Black Widow, you think it would have went down like that? No. So yeah, it was necessary for them to be there. That's what it's called, turning the tide. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, after I seen the skill that those dudes possessed, and they were giving them the business, Vision and Wanda, hard to believe. But
what? Why? Because they're human beings.
hard to believe.
I mean,
Yes, except for Cap. But it's like these two dudes is turning the tide. Okay, whatever. I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I suppose.
I don't know. The way it went down, it wasn't like they did anything crazy spectacular for me to be like, oh wow, he
I
actually
guess
overpowered that guy.
You could say it was their teamwork, perhaps.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Huh.
It was their skill implemented and complemented by one another.
I have a slight problem with it, but I guess I'll buy it.
I mean,
So
I didn't think that was one of the biggest deals.
This whole movie, Vision is like incapacitated.
Pretty much. It was kind of pathetic, actually.
This whole movie, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this dude ain't no weakling. You know what I'm saying? This dude is strong, and they for whatever reason, everything that they threw at him worked. He couldn't phase. He couldn't do anything. He's getting hurt. He's getting stabbed. He got stabbed like 4 or 5 times in this movie.
Yeah, no doubt.
Damn,
no doubt. Dude was getting. He was a we call it pin cushion.
Yeah, so
He's getting holes poked in him.
that's
Turn that
all I'm
into Swiss
saying.
cheese.
That's all I'm saying. Like, damn, like they really handicapped that dude. So, okay.
So then what? So after they try, then they fail.
Yeah, they fail
with Vision.
right.
They come back to what was it? The Guardians finding Thor.
Yeah, and it was a bit of joking going on as we thought was gonna happen. It wasn't. I won't say it was as bad as Ragnarok, but there was quite a bit of joking going on. It didn't steal away too much, I want to say, from the theme of the movie, and the.
So you're saying you had a problem with their banter?
Somewhat, a little, not major, just minor,
To be honest, what I took from that scene where they were like having their little, jokes or whatnot was like a beaten, broken dude in Thor really trying to hold himself together.
I did feel that too.
And not really explode. And
I
don't know
too.
how many of us go through that many problems in our lives, but as far as I'm concerned, I could really relate to that, and I really saw,
They gave it to Thor in this movie, man. Considering what happened to him in Ragnarok.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think you could feel more emotion for him in this film than any of the others. Period.
So the Guardians, man, they had a pretty heavy role in this whole thing because they're the connection between like Gamora and Thanos.
We'll keep going on and on about this, but let me bring this up about that. We got Iron Man, we got Cap, we got Panther, we got Spider-Man, all these different heroes from all their own films and whatnot. How did you think that all correlated together and played out?
It worked well because they gave scenes to those who needed it that were relevant to moving the story along, and yet they still gave those other characters a little bit of shine. They had their little moments here and there.
I'd say that it was well-rounded.
Yeah, it didn't need to
balanced
be. It didn't need to be a whole bunch of scenes for like Falcon or
War Machine
or Black Widow didn't need a whole bunch of time. You know what I mean? The Guardians did because, like I said, they're
fairly fresh
in that galaxy they're the ones moving the story with Thanos forward.
Right,
Everybody else had no idea who Thanos was until the Guardians came and told. So Gamora has this little relationship with Thanos as his adopted daughter. Thanos kills her people and takes them for himself, and teaches her and trains her and brings her up how he wants to. So when they have this rapport, this love-hate relationship, and it's interesting, and Gamora's really relevant because she's the one who knows about the Soul Stone, where it is.
She's the only one, as far as we know.
Yes. Yeah, man. So she kind of kept that information to herself and had made that promise with Star-Lord
Right.
You know, if things go south, you need to kill me. And he tried to keep his word.
Which was surprising. I was shocked. I said, this nigga tried to take her.
Well, shit, he had to.
Did he? Did he?
See,
Just like he said to Thanos later on. Did ya? You didn't have to do it.
Bruh, they was going to both die. And
I mean,
Thanos kind of respected him and let him live because of that, in a way.
He was letting everybody live. He
Yeah,
didn't
he
care
was.
whether that dude lived one way or another. Because when the time came, if he was one of that half, he was gone, bro.
That was kind of a problem. I was noticing that he was letting niggas live. Like,
yeah,
live.
but you just stated earlier that he spoke. He was allowing that to happen because he was putting off the image like he was that dude,
overconfident. Yeah, and I did get that, but it was like, wow, like he really just doesn't finish people off.
I mean, think about it. Did he really have to? Look, once we get to the highlighted moment and he gets all the Infinity Stones and he snaps his finger,
True.
did he really have to worry about
True.
them? Like,
And
him letting them go made no difference one way or another.
And here's something I was pondering, you know, like, would I've enjoyed it more if he killed them physically or if they people went out the way they went out? And I'm going to pose that question now, but let's come back to it. So, remember that question. So, there Gamora is, and she's setting up him getting the next stone. And, you know, Thanos tortures his other daughter, Nebula.
Yeah. In
Tortures
order
the shit out of her.
to make Gamora weak,
Yeah.
which kind of bothered me though, because if you were willing to die,
That's right.
you know, and you're willing to ask Star-Lord, who you know loved you above all others.
Yeah, why can't you let her?
Yeah, come on now.
I mean, it
you
sucks,
gotta,
but if you're willing to take
I mean,
a life to
the
save the
stakes are
universe,
real,
if you're
and
trying to save the universe, right, and that's
right,
what you're
the
trying to
stakes
do,
are real.
why then would you tell him where that stone was instead of?
Oh, but because it's your sister, though. It's always supposed to understand.
I had a problem with that too.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
There's a little plot holes here and there. I had a problem with that too. It was like, really? What the freak?
I mean, don't take it the wrong way. Yes, we're nitpicking, but that's our job. We gotta nitpick at this. We gotta analyze it and say what's right and
the
what's
real
wrong.
right there. That's
Right.
what happened. That's what I saw. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at Marvel for making that. So making it the way it was.
I don't think it crippled the movie
It
too
didn't.
much.
I'm not
but
saying
it was just something that didn't sit.
Yeah,
well.
it didn't. It was a little off. It was a little slightly off here. You could have fixed that.
You're willing to self-sacrifice yourself, but you can't sacrifice your sister. You're willing to ask somebody else to put it into you, but you can't allow them to have an input to them.
It was strange, right? Like, what are we doing? What is this?
I mean, well, I mean, to be real, is the same thing happened with Doctor Strange. You know what I mean?
Very true. Very true. His talk with Iron Man. You know, he's like, if any of y'all get into trouble, and I'm not gonna save you. My priority is the Time Stone, the universe.
And ultimately,
he freaking saves Iron Man's life.
At the cost of his own, though, we find out. You know, it was trippy.
At the cost of his own, at the cost of the universe, at the cost of everything, and
not at the cost of the universe, at the cost of
hey man, as far as he knows, when Thanos gets that, it's death. That's all.
I don't know. I don't know if he knew it that way or not. But
well,
anyway.
he's the one who went into that little trance and saw
exactly. So that's why you got to give Doctor Strange an ability to. He knows.
The only thing I could think of is he has a plan because of his vision, and that's kind of why he made that call. But still, you're going against what you said, just like Gamora.
Yeah, it was a little different with Gamora, but whatever.
It's the same, along the same lines.
Yeah, but it was still different with Gamora. I mean, Gamora didn't have no infinite wisdom or knowledge on her side. She didn't have the time stone to work with. She had the
knowledge of where the stone was and nobody else knew.
Right, but as you just said, maybe Strange
how the freak did she even find that? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's mentioned, and they bring it up in with Nebula's little recap of her little cyber digital files.
But it's like, how did she find it? How come she's the only one who found it?
It was her mission to go find it. It was one of her missions.
I feel you, but
when she was still under Thanos' reign. So.
I feel you. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
Anyway, man, I'm just saying. But the movie in an entirety, though, bro, like,
it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But I'm just telling you, when I see these little instances,
I was surprised to see Thanos get all 6
Oh,
stones
hell yeah! I did not.
as quickly as he did.
I did not expect him to get all 6 stones.
In this one film? No, I didn't.
I didn't expect that at all. That was a curveball. But yeah. So Spider-Man and let's go with Spider-Man and Tony's. You know,
that was a heartfelt moment right there. Which part are you? Which scene are you referring to?
I'm going back a little bit. It was cool seeing him get the suit, the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah.
That was cool, man. That was cool. I was like, oh man, he put that suit on him to protect him and help. You know, he was trying to send him home and protect him, but Peter wasn't having that.
Well, I mean, you know, that's the whole with great power comes great responsibility. He ain't finna back down.
He didn't want to let Tony face whatever that was alone, and that was cool. I like that. I enjoyed that.
It'd have been something to see him grab the Captain Universe suit.
It was
that's
tight.
a whole other story.
It was tight seeing him do what he do. You know, he was swinging around and everything. That looked pretty cool. You know, saving Avengers and stuff. He pulled his weight. And
Spider-Man for sure.
And officially is an Avenger now, apparently.
All right, he was dubbed.
Which was tight.
He was dubbed.
He got knighted.
Yeah.
So that was cool. You know, he had some good moments in there. I enjoyed that. And Tony, I enjoyed that nano suit, man. That was tight. That was tight.
To be honest, man, like overall, when I look back at everything that I recall from the film, it gave me more than I expected, and with the way that the plot turned and twisted towards the end of the film, I was shocked to see big time heroes biting the dust. Literally, it was. I couldn't. I mean, that's almost jaw dropping.
Definitely
content right
unexpected there. And had a lot of shock and awe value.
Graphics were great.
Yeah. Oh, CG was amazing.
Plot was good. You know, the character development. I mean, to be honest, this is something I was thinking of too. Though I felt like it was all of this 10-year build-up we're talking about. I mean, I felt like it was all about Iron Man at some point or another. I mean, that's what they made it seem like, you know.
They spread it out pretty good, right? They didn't totally focus on him, but he did have his moments. I mean, damn, this nigga was hanging with Thanos.
He tried.
I like, damn. I felt like Thanos could have killed him several times in that encounter, but it's tough.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, man. I mean, by the time they faced off,
at one point he ripped his nano helmet off,
and he looked all surprised and had to recover his face.
Yeah,
no, I feel you, but
I guess they're saying since he had that nanotech that he was able to kind of barely get through that because the nano was kind of covering him back up.
You know what? I think part of the reason why I was a little disappointed was because one thing I do know about the Infinity Stones is if you have the Mind Stone, you have mastery over the mind. Mm-hmm. You can see into other people's thoughts. You know, you're like the perfect telepath. You know what I'm saying? If you have the Soul Stone, you have mastery over the soul. You can resurrect the dead and kill people in an instant, right?
Okay.
If you have the Time Stone, you can exist in everywhere and nowhere all at once.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they didn't really depict Thanos with that kind of power.
But could they really do that?
Of course they could have.
Because
it wouldn't have been that difficult.
Nobody would be any threat. Nothing would matter. Like, again, they kind of showed that in a way.
That's the point of what we're talking about.
Exactly. They kind of showed it in a way to a degree, but to go full on how the comic has it, shit, there's no way, bruh. There's no, just in end credit. We don't even have another movie because them niggas is done, bruh.
But he didn't have all the stones out the gate. He had to acquire the stones.
I feel you.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, I mean...
I feel you.
You know, and like we said, this ain't to be taken
it's the MCU.
Page by page from the comic. Right, it's the MCU. It's its own thing. So, I mean, with putting that thought in my mind every time I'd see something that I had a problem
You'd be disappointed,
it did help me overcome it and be like, wow, okay, so for what we're doing in the cinematic world, I can accept that. Although with the human side of Thanos, like I've been saying this entire time, that was probably the biggest hurdle for me to overcome because they don't call him the Mad Titan for nothing. Like, he didn't seem mad to me, is what I'm saying.
No,
he seemed
didn't.
like a very logical,
Yeah.
rational-minded,
I
intelligent
agree.
entity that didn't necessarily want to do what he had to do or was going to do, but decided this was for the best
I think
for all.
the only time he ever didn't want to do it was when it had something to do with Gamora. That was it. Other than that, she's the only thing that distracted him or kind of
Which also bothered me.
made him
like,
lose sight of his goal.
Like, of
as
all
he stated,
things,
as he
you
stated.
having an adopted daughter is what's bothering you,
Yeah.
bro. Like, come
And
on,
they
bro.
should have explored that a little more. What was this affection for Gamora?
And again, there's
Why?
a second film to come out, so hopefully we'll get some
Hopefully we'll get
answers.
some
I don't want
answers.
to ride on that
Yeah.
too much,
But
but
it's
you know.
something to think about, you know, like why was he so infatuated with
What was
her?
the question you were divulging? You were asking me, you know, not to forget.
My thing is, you know, as you stated that a lot of Avengers die, you know, in this movie.
Unexpected
And
deaths,
the way they
for sure.
die is once Thanos does get all these stones, you know, at a snap of his fingers, people die, and they're dust. Now,
To literally do that, though, he would have literally needed all 6 stones.
okay,
That's one thing that was still accurate as hell.
I get that, but was that more satisfying for you, or would it have been more satisfying for him to get his hands more dirty, like physically take them out himself?
I don't know, bro.
That,
Because the satisfying factor of seeing unexpected death that we saw. I mean, come on, let's go ahead and just spoil the shit out of this.
Go ahead.
Who died?
Go ahead.
Doctor Strange died.
Strange,
Spider-Man died. Black Panther died.
Panther.
Fucking Vision died. What's her name with the psychic powers and whatnot?
Wanda.
Wanda Maximoff died. Oh my God, who did it? They kill. That's what I'm saying. I mean, all the Guardians except for Rocket basically died.
Bucky.
It was so
Bucky.
shocking to know that half of what he destroyed was so much of what made up the Marvel MCU.
He took out over half the Avengers that quick with a snap of his fingers.
That tripped me out.
And not
That
only
tripped
the
me out.
Avengers, but the population itself. I mean,
Half of everything
Yeah,
everywhere.
it's just
in all
gone.
corners of the universe.
yeah, he took out half of the universe, basically. Life.
It was a trip. So I can't say what was more satisfying because the touching moment
Now-
between Parker and Stark before Parker faded away.
I feel you on that, but here's my
It's tough, man.
my thought process. I would have liked to have seen maybe a few more Avengers die a certain death by Thanos, or maybe from
One of his minions or whatever. Yeah.
Physical deaths, like action deaths, versus this snap of the fingers turn you to dust death. That was shocking and nice to see, but I don't think we needed to see as many of them go the way they did. Like, they could have took out Falcon and War Machine, bloody them up, beat them down. You know, some of them.
Right. No, I get where you're coming from. For sure.
I needed a little more of gritty
Grit.
Yeah, a little more grit and a little more destruction and battles that way, more meaningful battles that way, one-on-one, or
Straight up death.
Overpower them. Have
Yeah.
Thanos come in and just like give some emotion to the Avengers, like make them suffer a bit. That's just me.
I think ultimately what they were trying to do was create that suffering through the unexpected nature of how many of them. And it worked, but at the same time, I do get what you're saying. Like, there's nothing like seeing your comrade fall next to you
exactly
during the heat of battle.
and feeling powerless, because they did feel powerless going up against Thanos, but they didn't feel the despair until that happened. You know, so
either way, it's kind of hard to call,
Yeah,
man. I'd say it was masterfully done either way. I can definitely agree and understand to the points that you're making.
Yeah.
However, I can't say that it spoiled what happened in one way or another. I think that it was.
I'm not
done.
saying that. I was just giving that out there and throwing that out there because I for number one, this is how I was thinking as it was going down. I was like, I could have used a little bit more sauce right there.
Right.
So,
right.
I want to see, how did you feel balancing those? You know what I'm saying?
Man, how did I feel, man?
Would that have
to be honest,
would that have pulled you, in here a little bit more?
Sitting there watching the culmination of 10 years of masterful films be culminated in this epic moment, the first a two-part film. Man, I really didn't know what to think at first, to be honest. I was grabbing you because we're sitting there in the theater together. I'm like, "Nigga, are you watching this, right?" Other times I'm just sitting there scratching my head like, "Damn, is this really?"
Yeah,
or do they mean what I think they mean? Like, I mean, for example, they had really epic moments that I don't think they fully capitalized on, like Thor getting hit with the full force of a star.
Yeah, and I would mention that to you in the theater. I was like, "Bro, this nigga just took the full force of a star and survived."
To be honest,
bruh,
in the chronological order of the comics and the continuity of the comics, he has the ability to do that, to tank that.
You know,
but as far as we're concerned, is with the movie goes, the MCU, they've never shown him have the capacity to be able to handle something.
I didn't think he was that damn durable.
Right.
And he survived space. I didn't know this nigga could float in space and breathe and shit. Like, fuck.
Yeah, the Asgardians ain't no joke, bro.
Damn, is Loki really dead? Shit.
That's hard to accept. We don't really know. I mean,
the master of mischief might have had something up his sleeve. Who knows?
Well, we'll see. And then the end credit scene with the who was it? Patchy.
Samuel.
What's his name? Nick Fury, right?
Nick Fury, yeah.
That was something to see.
He's like, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. As he turns to dust,
fades away. They should let him get that F-bomb out, but that's cool. Disney.
It was. I mean, this was an epic movie, going in and walking out. There was a lot of people in the theater that probably felt the same way, because one person in particular actually vocalized what probably 90% of the audience was thinking in our theater, and they go, "What the fuck?" And then they roll credits, you know. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Speaking of Thor, man, he gets that axe. What is that called again? Stormbreaker. That was tight. Oh, and the arm of Groot is the handle. He takes off his arm.
That was cool.
Makes the hand. I was like, what? He's gonna give him his arm? That's kind of cool.
But see, what really bothered me about that, I mean, like I said, I'm not the biggest comic historian or anything, and yes, I know they're going to put certain adaptations from comic to the film, right? But Stormbreaker is not this all-powerful weapon. Stormbreaker is like the little brother to Mjolnir.
Well, here you go again.
You know what I mean? So it just, I had to accept what they were saying about it. You know what I mean? As far as the film goes, so that I could allow myself to allow the film to progress.
They had to change a few things to make something meaningful and as a weapon in this movie. Basically.
I mean, and it did what they said it would do. It overpowered Thanos.
Damn, Thor with this weapon, man. This dude comes in wrecking shit. If you were thinking Thor was weak or, he didn't show enough of his power, he came in. He was the main nigga on the battlefield. Just killing at will with the strokes of his hand. Yeah.
Well, that's how Thor's supposed to be in general. But, but yeah. I agree, I mean, but no, I mean, I thought the film was done very well. I think it was very tasteful, articulated really nicely. I mean, I don't really have too many problems with the film. I want to watch it again.
Of course, I definitely want to watch it again. And to come back a little bit, to see the battle on Wakanda was really nice.
Oh, that reminds me. What was the general's name?
Okoye?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Oh my God. The one guy says this will be the fall of Wakanda, and she's like, well, then it'll be the most noblest of
falls in Wakanda history.
In all of history, history, bro. Like that really hit me, bro, because I am black and I am proud, and I just thought that was like, wow. That would just spoke volumes as far as their courage, their passion, their drive, their determination, their will. I was just like, damn, bro.
You could see how important Wakanda was to this battle. Oh, man.
Most definitely.
They were on the front line.
Their tech.
Oh man, the smarts.
What's his sister's name? Yuri or no? What's his sister's name?
Yeah, Yuri.
Yuri. Yeah. I mean, without her,
she had she showed her genius. She flexed her brain muscles on Bruce Banner, man. Like, damn.
Yeah.
She knew things he didn't even know. So that was tight, man. Give him props. But Wakanda did their thing. The battleground was laid there for the most part, and in outer space. They jumped around pretty heavily in space, man. We visited different planets.
Oh man, yeah.
Planets was tight. There were beautiful scenes.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful planets, and man, it was nice. I was.
And then there was the prelude to what's the character's name? We were just talking about it. Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
So we'll see where they go with the second film for sure.
Yeah.
But you know.
Oh, what did you think about that Thanos encounter with Captain America? In that last.
You talking about when he grabbed at him?
Yeah.
Oh man, I felt just like a couple other YouTubers watching that.
Cap is holding Thanos'
I didn't understand
arm with the gauntlet, and I'm like, bruh, like. And Thanos socks this dude in the face, and he lives. Wow.
That actually...
With all those stones.
Hold on.
He has all the stones.
That didn't surprise me.
Well, he has 5 of the stones.
It didn't surprise me for Thanos to smack Cap in the face and Cap to live. But what did surprise me was Cap could put up any type of resistance, and Thanos would have to feel like he had to work to overpower him.
Now, did he work there, or was he just...
Yeah, he worked, bruh. You could see it in his face. He's like he was struggling, bruh. Like, nah.
Well, that was probably every fiber in Cap's being.
I don't give a shit. Okay, if that had been Spider-Man or somebody, okay. But Captain America, nah, bruh. Come on, you ain't got you ain't got the stones for that, Cap. I'm sorry.
Got the stones. Nitpicks.
But nah, man. I mean, the movie was epic. I mean, good God, if you've spent any of the last few years watching any of the last few movies, do yourself a favor, watch them all. Do yourself a favor and watch them all. And go see this movie immediately.
I enjoyed Thanos. I enjoyed him. I'm excited to see what
best villain thus far. I'd say he overshot Killmonger.
With the weight of the shit behind him, yeah.
My point exactly. How can you not say that that's the? I mean, he brought the highest stakes to the table ever, bro.
King villain in MCU. Whether you love him or you had your gripes with him, he did.
I still liked him. I still liked
Josh Brolin. Is it Josh Brolin, the actor of Thanos? I think it is.
You'd know better than I would.
He's also the actor of Cable and Thanos.
That was his voice, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's in both.
Well, you know what? Now that you said that, it all came together. Son of a bitch.
Amazing. I enjoyed his. You did a good job, bro. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed your portrayal as Thanos. I would like to see
the
some
CGI work.
I would like to see more menacing acts from Thanos in the next one.
Yeah, he was kind of like a mild tiger.
Yeah, he was
tamed tiger.
He was a little tame in this. He let loose little spurts, but understandable because he would have really destroyed everybody. Like,
you know, what was also a good thing, the way that they managed to break up and dissect these scenes from each other, is they kept Stark and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange from having the final battle with Thor and Captain America. And you got to look at it this way. Had they all been together, the way that they represented Thanos in this film, they would have stood a way better chance of success had they all fought together cohesively. But the way that they made it make sense to why they were segregated, it made sense why Thanos was able to overpower them. And I mean, it was done really well. I loved it. I loved it.
Again, let's touch this scene. Lest we forget. On Titan, Thanos is there, and he's coming after that time stone that
Strange has.
Doctor Strange has. They have this trap and this plan to get the gauntlet from Thanos, and
Star-Lord.
Yeah, it almost works. They have Mantis on. Doctor Strange has Mantis pop off, drop onto his head, and try to put him subdue him.
Yeah, like a tranquilizer.
And Star-Lord is looking for Gamora and doesn't see her anywhere. And they divulge that since he's here and she's not here, he must have killed her. And Star-Lord loses his shit before the plan.
Stark and Parker can pry the gauntlet off of his arm.
I mean, they have inches to go before it's off.
Yeah.
And he could have let loose on. Now, he ain't going to kill Thanos. But he could have let loose on him to his heart's content until he got tired. And he screws up the plan.
You know, that's going to be a really debatable topic, I think. And I think that it's easy to say, bro, the world and the universe and la 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 are all at stake. All you had to do was wait. But at the same time, everything that your heart desires being squashed and the way your psychological, mental mind will handle that, I couldn't be mad, although I thought it was like, damn, really? Really? But, I mean, I couldn't be mad either, man. I mean, maybe I'm just a sucker for trying to understand everything and everybody all the time. But, hey, I wasn't mad at the nigga at all. Like, hell no. I mean, she told him she loved him for the first time. They kissed for the first time.
But here again, in the gripes we were having earlier, it's kind of the same gripes we're having now because...
Yeah, but what does he care anymore?
Wait,
though?
but he was willing to kill her in that instant. This is the only thing the problem I have is because he was willing to kill her in front of Thanos, and now that Thanos kills her and she's gone,
you can't wait a few more moments.
Now you lose your shit. Now you fucking screw up the plan.
Like I said, that'll be a controversial topic no matter what.
Nah,
sure.
Bruh, that ain't flying. That shit had me like, what the fuck are you doing? You just a fucking ball. Were you not there when we had the plan? Did you not know who this nigga is? Did you not see what he's done to everybody? Like, this is what I'm saying. The little tiny plot holes that you can fall into is because the Gamora thing with him, and then vice versa, him with Gamora. Like, bruh, what are you guys doing over here? Like, the universe is at stake. And then with Wanda and Vision, again, she finally did it. She finally did it, and she has the power to destroy an Infinity Stone, my nigga.
Yeah, that didn't sit well with me. That didn't sit well with me. If anything, I thought they were going to use the power of another stone against the stone.
Shit,
they're saying she's that
she's fucking strong as fuck if she could destroy.
What is she, the Phoenix? I mean,
right?
Shit,
she destroys the Infinity Stone with one hand, and with the other hand, she keeps Thanos at bay. How strong is this chick?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That was pretty.
Plot holes, like fuck. Like how strong?
That was pretty
damn
dubious to say the least.
Like, wow, where did this strength come from? Like, and Okoye says it she's fighting with Black Widow.
She can do all that. Why was she up in the tower the whole time?
Right,
yeah, protecting Vision.
They poke holes and make fun of it, and it's like, bruh, if you could do all this shit, what the fuck were you doing over there? Why we all dying down here and shit? What are you doing over there with your little love scene?
But see, also I thought I thought it was tasteful. I did. I thought it was done well. I thought it wasn't over.
Hey man, this is just my this is how I am, man. When I see some shit,
of course.
When I see some shit, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm telling you, this is the shit I seen. I'm sure all y'all saw it too, but I'm gonna say something. So, there.
With all the plot holes and twists and turns and the idiotic.
There was a lot of WTF, what the fuck moments.
But with all that aside, man, I have to ask you.
And it was still a great movie. I enjoyed this movie. I will be rewatching this movie for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Epic, man. It was great. I had some problems and I had some issues here and there. I have tons of questions, man.
Anticipation.
Tons of questions. That's why I gotta see it again. But as many plot holes as I pointed out, I still love this movie. I still enjoyed it.
Right.
It does drop a few letter grades. Given I mentioned all this shit, I have to lower it a bit. I wanted to give it an A, but I'm gonna lower it to an A- for me.
I'm gonna give it a straight up A. I can't put that plus on it because of what we talked about, but it's definitely filmography. Plot. Story, characterization,
epic, man.
Chemistry on film.
To handle all these big heroes.
We're talking about a full cast of A-list actors at that.
To handle all these heroes, they did it well. Everybody had meaningful screen time.
It blended so good.
It was good. The action
all
was good.
seemed like they were all these different characters that make up this MCU felt like they were in the
action
MCU.
Was good. CGI was good. Pacing was good. Slow moments, kind of midway through the movie.
I mean, there were some unnecessary scenes, but what movie doesn't have that?
Yeah,
nothing's going to be perfect in its total.
It's still good, man. It's still, and overall, it has you with more questions. You want to know what the freak is happening. Why did this happen this way?
I think the MCU is really bright on that aspect of what you're saying, because if nothing else, they're going to leave you wanting to divulge into the comics now.
They've left you with a huge cliffhanger because once Wanda destroys this Infinity Stone, and Thanos uses the Time Stone to turn back time and take it from Vision's skull and just throw his body aside like gutter trash.
Yeah, he was doing that a lot actually in this movie.
And I'm gonna say Vision was pretty much gutter trash in this movie because he was a crippled, helpless puppet.
They didn't use him like they could have.
Yeah, I'm disappointed with Vision. I'll leave it at that. So he rips that out of his skull, which was tight to see. I was like, damn, you know. He rips it out of his skull, puts it in the gauntlet, and now he has all the power. And who interrupts him after
Thor.
He's powering up, and Thor comes with that axe and buries it in Thanos' chest. Now, I felt some type of way about this. I was like, fuck, what the fuck am I watching?
Well,
at the same time, I liked it. At the same time, I was like, how is this shit possible when he has all 6 stones in his gauntlet? That nigga got surprise attacked by Thor? Fuck. Like, come on, dude. Shit. Like, y'all feel me, man? It was awesome to see, don't get me wrong, but damn, I have questions about it.
I was in a lot of disbelief.
I have questions about it. My jaw fucking hit the floor like, damn, bruh. You were that you just got a boost of epic proportions, like, you know what I'm saying, with that axe. Like,
yes.
Bruh.
Yes.
Shit.
That's
Storm
why I said I had
breaker. Like, fuck. That's that manly weapon, huh? Damn. Like, it can cut Thanos like nothing. He literally, it happened too quick for me, man. Like, fuck, he just jumped in and boom, he buried that shit in his chest. And then
there was no real struggle.
He pushes it in, like, fuck. Like, yeah, you know who I am. This is Stormbreaker, cut. Like, damn.
Well, I went through the fortress, bitch. Yeah, like,
and Thanos, man, Thanos was like, you should have went for the head.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Snap with that gauntlet.
Pretty
and that
strong moment.
Fucked everything up. Man.
Why was it they only showed shit on Earth though? Like we haven't explored the entire MCU
Damn,
for the last 10 years.
Yeah, they could have showed.
I was a little bit disappointed
They
with
could have
that.
showed.
Like, shoot us to Xandar, shoot us to fucking nowhere, shoot us to all these other places.
They
only showed what was going on Earth.
Another little side nitpick. They could have showed like Howard the Duck fading away, or
right, anything. All these fucking last
the collector
minute
fading away.
Yeah,
or some
come
shit
on,
like
man.
that.
All these scenes we wait for the credits to roll.
Who was that dude? Jeff Goldblum's character.
I can't remember.
He could have been like
High Lord.
He could have been like the High Lord. He could have been like giving a speech and some shit, and then what the fuck? You know,
yeah.
But anyway, that last scene, damn, I was torn. I was literally.
It almost seemed like it really didn't happen the way that Thanos had the vision with Gamora asking him if it was all really worth it, and was the price too high, and da da da. I don't know, man. I'm really more than I was waiting to see this film. I'm really waiting to see what kind of shit they can answer all the questions we have. I mean, because
real quick, Homeboy showing up in this movie, the Red Skull.
Right.
That was tight. To
finally see him again. Finally, since fucking the first Avenger.
But I wish they would have used him and brought him in. You know, and he could have went up to Cap and be like, "Yeah, nigga, like I'm back." Like they could have tangled. It would have kind of brought that full circle.
Not to say that it wouldn't have or would have. What do you expect? You know, I mean, you haven't seen him.
This is only 2 hour something movie, but man, I'm just saying, guys, that kind of would have just. You know what I'm saying?
Put the bow on the present and call it good night.
Man, put some whipped cream on it. Like, put some cinnamon and, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. But yeah, so, damn, once he snaps his fingers with those Infinity Stones, all hell breaks loose. Niggas is fading away into dust.
It was problematic at the end, man. I mean, you know, he seemed like it took a toll on him. And it was more like a retreat than a victory celebration. So, you know.
It almost seemed like he didn't know quite what the fuck was going on.
Right, exactly.
Like, hey, what the fuck did I do? Oh shit, let me get the fuck out of here.
He had to retreat. He had to retreat.
Did you see that? The gauntlet looked destroyed. The stones,
It was. It
the
didn't
stones,
look destroyed. It was.
The stones
destroyed.
were destroyed.
No,
everything.
the stones weren't destroyed.
They were still in there,
but
the gauntlet
had
was
been,
toast.
yeah.
Damn. So he needs a new gauntlet.
Or something, yeah.
Shit.
Because that's what housed the power of the Infinity
He finna
Stone.
go check out Peter Dinklage, and hook him up with a new gauntlet.
Which was dope to see him as a
It was
giant.
tight. It was tight seeing him and
A giant dwarf.
We found out where all the weapons came from Asgard. That was tight.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of cool reveals and
Yeah.
whatnot. You know,
It was tight. It tied a lot of things with a little bow. It did.
But see, the MCU has a knack for that kind of stuff, bro. I mean, like they killed the Justice League. I think. I mean, this movie left you with your jaw dropped, wanting more.
Justice League is decimated. There's probably 3 or 4 of them motherfuckers left. And and we don't know what the fuck happened with Ant-Man. That nigga is.
I know. I was a little bit surprised not to have seen him in the film.
They mentioned him, and shit. We don't know what happened to him. I guess we gotta wait for Ant-Man and Wasp. Who knows what he's doing? And will that have any bearing on his movie? Interesting. Yeah.
Well, I think that about does it.
What grade? You gave it a.
I gave it a solid A.
Okay,
Man.
he gave it a solid A. I'm going with A-, man. I enjoyed it. Yeah, great movie.
I mean, that movie kept me on the edge of my seat, bro.
Great movie.
Like, no
good.
bullshit. Like, it was full of suspense.
Yeah.
It was full of moments of awe and wonder. And like I said, there was things I didn't disagree with, but I'm going to have to override all that and say the enjoyment factor from top to bottom, beginning to end.
I will say, a touch too many jokes for my liking, and it could have it tilted so I'm giving it an A- because I had a little bit again with those little plot holes I mentioned. It tilted the scale slightly down for me because I want a little bit more serious action and tone, and they gave me a little bit more jokes and humor. And that's okay. It's still a good movie, still a great movie. Damn, if I didn't love it, I loved it. It was great. So there's our take on Infinity War spoiler review. Hope you guys like this. Please thumbs the video up. If you like this content, hit the bell. Please subscribe. We'll be back for the next one. We love this movie. We love y'all. We enjoyed this. And stay tuned, y'all. We out.